Gonna bring you back on Thursday.
There it is. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, thank you guys. You're so awesome.
And then you control the mood in your own.
Yeah, yes. I don't know. Something happened yesterday and
Typically what'll happen is, I don't know if it's you or some other participant, if you hear that echoing, you need to make sure they join without audio.
Okay.
Or take their audio, remove it.
okay. All right. Thank
Because
you.
everything goes off of the system.
All right. Thank you all so much. You're awesome. I love IT. All right. Am I using the correct terminology by saying IT or is it? Yes.
Okay.
No,
Why am I
miracle workers.
blinking?
You are miracle workers.
Just give-
All right. All right. But thank you all so much. I appreciate it.
All right, have a great day.
All right. You too.
Yes, we need it.
You want to check real quick into the house, so?
All right. On Martinez, I just
It's
need to
working.
file the walk on the,
Yeah, I could.
right on the docket sheet.
I had to look at
If you audio out,
Okay.
can we just do the jingle?
All right. Thank you.
Go for it.
Oh, yeah.
They're done. Yes. All right. Thank you.
Ready to go.
All right, thank you all so much. All right, probation on Julianne Martinez, that's going to be recalled for tomorrow. State, Julianne Martinez recalled for tomorrow. Unless you all are ready today. Okay. Jorge Sandoval. All right, Mr. Sandoval, could you come down, please?
So Judge, I wanted to give you an update on Mr. Sandoval's evaluation. He had his drug court evaluation. They deemed him not qualified.
Okay.
And then he had his TAP evaluation while in custody. The report for the TAP evaluation recommendation is static, but if you go with a lesser modality, it will be intensive outpatient treatment, sober support meetings, and regular UAs.
All right, Mr. Sandoval, you're going to go to SATA. And let me just tell you why, because I don't like people to think that I'm just doing things just to do them. This is why you're headed to SATA. If I recommended you for felony drug court, that means that you have a heavy drug problem. Otherwise, I wouldn't have recommended you because felony drug court has a limited space. So you're going to go to SATA. I want you to take advantage of the program. You understand? Yes or no? Yes or no? All right. So learn when you go there. And then when you come out, you'll be better for it. You understand? All right. So he'll be going to SATA.
Yes, Judge.
Is there anything else?
No, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
Just have a seat.
All right. And who is the person with the other attorney? Was that Oliver, the one who wouldn't come from the jail?
Courtney, he's out here, Your Honor.
Courtney's the one who wouldn't come from the jail?
Yes.
All right, Nicholas Courtney, come down.
Right in the middle.
All right. Mr. Courtney,
Yes, ma'am.
hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
All right, so we have some issues with you, right? When you are asked to be brought over from the jail, you need to come over because let me just tell you what's going to happen. Whether you want to come over or not, this hearing will happen for this case. Now, I've been a defense attorney. I've been a prosecutor. I've seen people brought over strapped down like from Silence of the Lambs. You understand that? I once had a client. They brought him in strapped down. I once had a client who didn't want to come out. And I was like, is this really where we want to pick our battles? You understand? So when you're being ordered by the court to come to court because your case is pending and it's set, you need to show up. Otherwise, I'm going to sign an order because there are certain hearings that you need to be present for. And you know what's going to happen? The deputy's going to bring you in strapped down to a board. And how will that look? Not good. So if there's ever an issue, and I always tell people, if you're having an issue, let us know. We'll see if we can solve it. Sometimes we can't solve it. You understand? So I don't want to hear about you not coming from the jail again and me having to sign an order, having the deputies to force you to come out, because that makes for a bad morning for them. And it's definitely going to be a bad morning for you. You understand?
I did have a cold.
Well, no, I mean, here's the thing. No, it wasn't you telling them, hey, I have a cold. I don't want to infect anybody. It was you saying, I'm not coming over. And we had that situation twice. And so this last time I signed an order and I said, bring him over. And they said, okay, we'll bring him over by force if necessary. So let's not do that. You understand? Defense, have you had a chance to speak with him about this motion?
I'm still waiting on the prosecutor. We spoke with him. He's willing to take some treatment. Did they recommend it?
Sorry, I'm spoken with probation a little bit about this, I don't think he can go to the treatment because the open case is out of county.
He's telling me that those cases have been taken care of.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna recall this for in 2 weeks. And counsel, if you can check to make sure that those cases are no longer open. Now, whether or not I give you treatment, I don't know yet. I have to hear the motion to revoke, but I always keep an open mind on everything. And so I'm going to pretend and forget about the fact that you were going to be forced to be brought over. You understand? We're just going to chalk that up to a misunderstanding. So if we can recall this in 2 weeks, please.
March 6th, Judge.
All right, so we're going to come back on March 6th. And your attorney is going to check into, and the state, if you could too, check into the out of county matters. And the reason why is because if you have something that's pending out of county, that limits the things that I can do on your case. You understand? All right. Do you have any questions about anything? All right. Hopefully you get over your cold.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
Oh, mercy. Yes.
And so can we find out if all the jurors are here? Whenever you're free. All right. Are we ready on Michael Alvarez?
Vince, ready.
That's good.
All right. And I need back the violation report.
County.
All right, court is going to call CM numbers 096043 and 096042, State of Texas versus Michael Alvarez. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins to the state room.
Defense?
Howdy, Joe Stenberg representing Michael.
Are you Mr. Alvarez?
Good this morning, Mr.
All right.
Your Honor.
Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Good question.
Okay.
So we have some issues here. And the issues are that you are making unauthorized stops. Do you understand that when you're on GPS, and I'm not going to put you under oath yet, but do you understand what GPS is?
Yes.
All right. So what that means is you are not allowed to move about however you choose to move about. You understand?
Now proper something.
Yes.
He had stepped on a nail that morning and he had called the GPS. Nobody answered, so he left a message that he was concerned about tetanus and he was going to go to the Mission Trail, which is a city base. So he started out going there, then he realized he did not have much gas, so he stopped at his aunt's house. But she was not there.
She was not there.
She was not
All right.
there.
No. Here's the thing. If he's going to answer your question, counsel, he needs to be placed under oath. What I'm telling you, sir, is you are on GPS. What that means is you just can't go wherever you want to go. If there's a medical issue, you need to pick. Here's the thing. If there's a medical issue, you need to pick up the phone, call your pretrial services officer and say, I have a medical issue. I'm going to the doctor or I'm going to the emergency room. And guess what? When you call them, if they don't respond, your vehicle had better show that it's not making these extra stops and that you are going to the hospital or going to the ER. Do you understand? So.
Let's take a look at his feet, Judge.
Sure.
My right one.
Wait, what are we doing here?
It's been used, sir. It's been about a week.
No, stop. We're on the record. We cannot have conversations. What are we doing here? What's the issue?
He wants me to take my shoe
Well,
off.
he stepped on a nail, Judge. I just want to see if there's an injury.
It's already healed.
It's been healed by now.
Yes, it's healed already.
So
I
when,
took care of it.
Wait,
myself.
stop. Do you want to give testimony?
What's that?
Do you want to testify? All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give would be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Michael Oyavides.
All right. Mr. Steinberg, would you like to question your client? Do you want him called as a witness or no?
Sure. With respect to why you left, before you left, did you call your GPS officer?
Yes, I called him and I talked to him. I called him,
And you say you talked to him or left a
left a
message?
message.
All right, there's a difference.
Yes, sir.
And your message stated what? The
That
best of your recollection.
that I was headed to the hospital because I had stepped on a nail and I was gonna go check it out. and
Okay, then did you proceed to go, well, first of all, which hospital?
Mission Trails on city base.
Okay. And did you proceed to go?
Yes, I did, but I turned around and, because I didn't have enough gas.
And did you try to borrow money to get gas?
Yes, I did.
And the first place you stopped was where?
My aunt,
And she lives where?
over on 281.
Well, it's, the address is on that.
Now, I don't know her address.
Well, I know, but it's on the report.
Yes,
So you still needed money, so
To
where
get
did you
gas.
go?
and then I went, she wasn't there, and I went to my friend to get money, but he wasn't there, so I turned around and went back home.
Right. And then that's it?
That's it,
That's it?
that's it, sir.
All right. Pass the witness.
State.
Good morning, my name is Hank Wilkins.
Yes, sir.
I'm one of the prosecutors here. So which foot did you step on a nail?
It was my right side, it's really huge, though, it feels better.
Would you mind showing it to us?
Well, yeah. It's like right here.
And so,
See how it's healing?
so it's your testimony that because of this injury,
Yes, sir.
when you're on full house arrest GPS, which I don't really see anything.
Yes. It's already scarred, it's healed already.
So it's.
All right, so if you all remember, not conversationally, because the court reporter has to put everything on the record.
Okay, and for purposes of the record, Judge, the defendant has removed his shoe and his sock. So my question is, it's your testimony that because of that injury, that's
Yes.
why you left your house?
Yes,
Okay. I don't have any other questions, Your Honor.
And were you concerned about tetanus?
yes, I was worried,
All right. And is that the reason you went?
yes.
Did you ever make it to the hospital? I'm sorry, were you finished?
No, no.
No, I
I
never
passed
made it
the
to the
witness.
hospital.
Didn't make it. Did say, did you?
I
get
returned, I
tested?
did a U-turn and went back home.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch any of the question or anything.
Okay, sure. So for purposes of the record, this is, Hank Wilkins again. Did you ever get medical attention for the foot injury?
I did it myself at home.
Okay. Did you get a tetanus shot?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I passed it. Your Honor.
No further questions, John.
All right, the court will hear argument.
Well, like.
What should I do with regards to the fact
Yes. the
that
fact-
he is on full GPS?
And he's been on full GPS since March the 22nd of 2022. And I think on this particular case, considering a lot of people are just told, you step on a puncture, if you get a puncture wound, you go to the hospital because you're concerned about tetanus and lockjaw. And he said he did call. Michael said he left a message about where he was going and why he was going. And he did not deviate very much from point A to point B, his home to the hospital. He was just trying to get gas money to get there. He realized he didn't have enough gas, so he turned around and went back.
Okay, all right, state, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, we don't think GPS is working. We asked that his bail be revoked. This is the second violation report for the same thing, Your Honor. This doesn't seem to be working. I don't find it particularly credible that he had a foot injury. If he did have a foot injury, he never made it to seek medical attention. He went to two different locations.
To get money.
One was your aunt's house. One was second location where he was there for 20 minutes, which if he's very concerned about this foot injury, I just don't find the story very credible, Your Honor. So that's what we're asking for.
All right, Mr. Alvarez, I don't understand what you don't understand what GPS is.
This is my first time being on GPS, ma'am.
No, but we've had this conversation before. This is your second violation report.
No, I didn't know I had a first violation report.
Yes, you did. So we've had the conversation before. Mr. Steinberg, what is your client's issue? Why doesn't he understand what GPS means?
The
I'm sorry.
address the first part. I don't think he did have a conversation before. As far as I know, recollection, this is the first time he's been in front of the court. And he's had an opportunity to discuss this matter with you. I think last time you just signed an order, which is frequently done. But with respect to GPS, he understands now, absolutely, without a doubt, and he understood before, and that's why he called. And he is maybe not the brightest bulb in the chandelier, so to speak, but he was trying. And I don't think he's gonna be stepping on a nail again, so. But if he does, he's now learning. Just wait until he can talk in person to the GPS officer. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And stay, where are these cases in the process? Because this defense counsel is right. This has been since 2022, which is what the alleged offense date is.
Well, March is when he went on GPS. I think the offense was in February.
Yes, it was.
It looks like they're still pending indictment, Judge. I can email the in-state attorney to ask her what's going on.
All right. All right, this is what the court is going to do. And I am strongly considering taking you into custody, but I'll tell you what I'm realizing and weighing. The fact that you have been on GPS for 2 years, that of your 2 years since you've been on GPS, there's only been a violation twice. And the fact that this case has still not been indicted. If it's going to be indicted, I don't know. All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is going to continue you with full GPS. You're not allowed to leave the house at all. If you leave the house and I receive another report, we're going to have issues. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything you do not understand about what GPS means?
No, ma'am, I know now.
Well, full GPS. That means if somebody's having a cookout in your backyard, you cannot walk outside the house to grab a plate. You cannot go to the mailbox because the GPS will go off. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And is there some mental health issues going on here?
I do take
What are you taking medication for?
bipolar and schizophrenia.
All right. Okay. Now I'm knowing certain things. So what I'm going to do, it's going to be full house arrest, but he's going to allow to continue with his mental health treatment. And I'm going to order mental health evaluation and treatment for him as a part of his pretrial services conditions. And they're supposed to be doing that. And if you were drug tested, is it going to be positive or negative?
It's gonna be fine. I was using marijuana
And what else?
and little bit of yellow.
I'm sorry?
Oh, man,
All right.
but I do it once in a while. I don't do it all the time.
No. So this is what we're going to do. And I'm glad you're telling me this because I need to set conditions for you so you can be successful while you're on bond. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So does anybody live with you at the home?
My sister
Right.
and my mom is next door to me.
All
on the
right.
Same lot.
So we're gonna, then your testimony is a little much to be desired about where you were going.
Yes,
But this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do full GPS. I am going to order drug treatment. Waive fees. And I'm going to order a mental health evaluation with a referral to the Center for Healthcare Services. And if you'll remain in court, have a seat. I'm going to see if I can get your pretrial services officer to see you today. You understand? All right, thank you. Thank you. Sure. Two missing? We're waiting for two jurors.
Can I approach?
Just one moment. Pretrial services officer to see if they can Zoom. Yes, the Zoom number is there. Yes.
Hearing tomorrow, Judge, we're on Taylor Windows, there's a offense and test screen. Trying to track down. So we served the manager of the best person yesterday.
Mhm.
I didn't, so he's supposed to come tomorrow.
Okay.
I emailed Suzanne Kramer and asked her if she had any objection to the peer review sooner. She said, I don't have any objection to that, but I would like to peer review sooner.
Sure,
Would
that's
it get
fine.
closer than the peer review?
Yes.
Okay, I'll email the photo. Okay, I didn't bring it up with the CXL file.
All right, thank you. And counsel, yes.
It's my understanding has been that full house arrest meant you could go out and feed your dog in the yard.
No, you know what I,
Stay inside the house.
yes, you know what I've learned? If you leave the confines of the home, the GPS is going to alert that you're outside the house. Yeah.
Well, it's news to me.
Yes. So I'm going to have your client remain here. I'm going to have the pretrial services Zoom in so they can connect.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, everyone, we're just waiting for two jurors. Let me see. We have Anthony Alves. All right, have you had contact with your attorney? All right, just have a seat. We're going to get an attorney for you. So, Mr. Alves.
Yes, ma'am. And if you guys start, we'll head up. I have a doctor's appointment this afternoon, but Hank will be around.
Okay. And then. Okay, and I don't know why I have this sheet.
Oh, apologies.
All right, and then Marcelona Flores. This was on the docket for yesterday. Can you recall this for Thursday as well?
Yes. It's on yesterday's document.
Yes.
Judge. Judge. One of the jurors is not answering.
Hmm?
One of the jurors is not answering.
I'm sorry, what?
He's not answering.
Ah, okay. Well, we will see what happens.
He's not answering his phone.
You know what? Give me the number. All right.
Rachel has it in the back.
All right, and can you recall this one also for Thursday? Yes. And then on Alves, we have an attorney coming up here for him. Everyone, just give me one moment.
That's class. We'll see.
Can you come forward? Can somebody tell Mr. Alvarez? Yeah, unmute. Mr. Rodriguez, could you unmute, please? Right, just 1 moment. All right, Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes, Judge.
we have the black box. Hello, Officer Rodriguez. Thank you so much for zooming in.
No problem.
All right, there's something wrong with your volume, so I'm just going to chat with you.
Okay.
All right, can you give me a thumbs up if you're able to hear us? All right, so before me, I have Michael Alvarez. He is supervised by you. He's on GPS full house arrest. There was an issue with the violation. So Mr. Alvarez has certain mental diagnosis, schizophrenia being one of them. So I'm going to ask that he be continued on full GPS. However, he's going to be allowed to go to his mental health appointments. And if you could refer him to Center for Healthcare Services to make sure that he's receiving treatment. Is that doable?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. All right. Does he need to contact you today?
I'll reach out to him once he's back home.
All right. So you're going to leave from here and go directly home. Your pretrial services officer is going to reach out to you. They're going to connect you with someone to take care of your mental health. And he also has some drug issues as well. And so I'm ordering treatment for his drug issues as well. And it's methamphetamines.
Okay, Judge. Sounds good.
All right. So you're going to leave the courthouse. You're not going to make any detours. You're going to go straight back home, and your pretrial services officer is going to call you. If you make any stops along the way, what's going to end up happening is a warrant is going to be issued. Do you understand? Do you have any questions about what's being expected of you?
No, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Rodriguez.
No problem, Judge.
Thank you. All right. Do we know if the other jurors are here yet? You're excused, okay? All right. Thank you.
My glasses real quick, Judge.
All
Be
right.
right
Thank
back.
you.
Yeah, we just missing one juror. Yeah.
Oh, what's the update?
He never responded to Rachel's call. He never called back. She left a message. She texted him, nothing.
All right. And then is the other person here?
Yes.
All right. Gonzales is the person who's not here. We'll have somebody go pick him up, but will there be any objections to proceeding without Mr. Gonzales?
Rolanda said rid of attachment.
Send the sheriff up for me.
It has happened.
Nah,
Okay.
if the other jurors here, then we don't have any problem.
All right, so we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2021 CR 11795, State of Texas versus Angel Nathan Gonzales. Can I just 1 second, we're waiting for your client. Thank you for being here again today, Caroline. All right, thank you. Are you really in room 8?
I really do. I just tried to, should be there.
Am I gonna go there and find that you're not there?
Yes, probably. It should be there, all things considering.
All right, I'm gonna look for you at 8. All right, and Ms. Compton? Do you and Mr. Arguelles need to speak to him about what's happening?
Yes, if you don't mind.
Yes. Sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Just for granted, whenever I got it.
Hello. Morning.
May I approach?
Yes.
I've got docket with you tomorrow on a probation matter. My client is being revoked and it was an underlying drug case. I'm chaperoning my kiddos first grade field trip tomorrow. So I was checking to see if I could recall her for next.
Oh, where are they going?
To the rodeo.
Yeah. Well, they need as many chaperones as possible because once children see the little animals, they start running.
I'm not looking forward to it,
Yeah.
actually.
No. So how old are your children?
I have 3, so I've got an 11-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 6-year-old.
So are you chaperoning all of them?
No, so just the first grade class. So the
Oh.
7-year-old.
Well, even though you're saying
I
pretty
mean,
soon, pretty soon it's going to be an issue where you're going to wish to have that time back. My mom said with us, because when I was in elementary school, then my older brother is leaving elementary school, and then my younger brother is coming to elementary school. So my mom said she would always say, I'll be so glad when this elementary school run is over. Then I'll be so glad when junior high is over, then high school. And now she says every time she passes by the elementary school, she cries because there's like, my babies were here. So just remember at some point,
I know I always wanted to fast forward with the baby months were so
No.
many. No, it's just like, can I just fast forward till we're out of diapers? And then we were out of diapers and I'm like, "What? I just want to fast forward until they're
Yeah.
feeding themselves and putting on their own shoes. And-
Yeah. You need to have them to bring me the file out.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me go grab it.
Sure. All right, are you all ready to go on the record?
We're ready, sir.
All right, the court is going to call 2021 CR 11795, State of Texas versus Angel Nathan Gonzales. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Kathy Compton and Rolando Arguelles for Mr. Gonzales.
And are you Mr. Gonzalez? All right, the court has been made aware that juror number 12, who is juror number 6 on this jury, has not reported. The clerk has attempted to call and has called and has left text messages, and that juror has not responded. I have called and my phone call was not answered. So all of the other jurors are present. Is there any objection to moving forward with an alternate? State?
No objection, state judge.
Defense?
No objection.
All right, so what that means is then juror number 50, the first alternate, will become the juror. And we can go off the record and we're going to see if I can have someone find juror number 12, because people need to understand that jury service is important. And if there's an emergency, then of course we can address that. All right, are both parties ready to proceed?
We are here.
We are.
Okay, off the record for a moment. Mr. Bonk, do you mind conferring? Is he able to confer with his client?
Or you could put them in this holding cell.
Charles, are you okay with conferring with?
Tomorrow,
Yes,
we can bring it back tomorrow. I'll try to get something resolved between today and tomorrow.
Mr. Alves, we will bring you back tomorrow, okay? And so we will make sure that you're on the docket and you'll be here, and that will be your attorney, all right? All right. Oh, no problem. I just wanted to make sure you had an attorney, okay? All right, thank you. Probation. On the docket tomorrow is Satara Portil. Defense counsel is part of the group that's chaperoning children at the rodeo. We do not want any children to go missing. So we're going to recall this for next week. What day next week would you like to recall it?
Tuesday or Thursday is fine.
All right. Could we recall this for Tuesday? All right, so we'll recall it for Tuesday. Is your client in custody? All right, so we'll recall it for Tuesday. Enjoy your trip. Don't lose any children. I don't want to see you on the news and they say children lost. No. You're welcome. Have a good time.
Thanks.
Take plenty of photos.
I put my walking shoes on for tomorrow.
Okay.
I know one. I have another one.
All right, we are ready when,
Is it yours, Richard?
yes. And defense. Ms. Compton,
Yes,
I know yesterday, I know you already have a copy of the motion. I'm sorry, of the indictment. Did you need another copy of
I
it?
would love another copy because they tend to wash off. from them.
All right. Let me grab one here. Oh, Diana, you have the copy of the indictment, correct?
Yes.
All right, let me get that so I can have a copy made. Thank you.
On the Sunday, I got arrested the next following Sunday. On the 10th.
Yeah.
Mahia, you make plans and.
Yeah.
You know, the best, don't make plans, right?
It's supposed to be a picture, but it held it on too long. Or I say his number. Yeah, I have his number, but they can get a hold.
This is. Kathy,
Yes, ma'am.
here's a copy. And Diana, here you are. You're welcome. And State, did you need a copy? I think you already have one.
Yeah.
Okay. They are very chatty in back, but there's not a lot of movement for the courtroom. Are we ready?
You just did, we're ready.
All right, let's bring them in.
All rise for the jury.
Oh, please be seated. We stand for you all. Oh, please be seated. Yes. All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you were given an oath downstairs, and I told you yesterday that I would give you an oath that's for this specific trial. So could everyone please raise your right hand for me, please? Do each of you solemnly swear in the state of Texas versus Angel Gonzales, you will a true verdict render according to the law and the evidence, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. All right, state.
Yes, Judge. True bill of indictment. In the name and by authority of the state of Texas, the grand jury of Bexar County, state of Texas, duly organized and paneled and sworn as such at the November term AD 2021 of the 437th Judicial District Court of said county in said court at said term, do present in and to said court that in the county and state aforesaid and anterior to presentment of this indictment, count 1, paragraph A. On or about the third day of October 2021, Angel Gonzales did intentionally and knowingly cause the death of an individual, namely Isaac Aguilar, hereinafter referred to as complainant, by cutting and stabbing the complainant with a deadly weapon, namely a knife, that in the manner of its use and intended use was capable of causing death and serious bodily injury. Paragraph B. On or about the third day of October 2021, Angel Gonzales, with intent to cause serious bodily injury to an individual, namely Isaac Aguilar, hereinafter referred to as complainant, did commit an act clearly dangerous to human life that caused the death of Isaac Aguilar by cutting and stabbing the complainant with a deadly weapon, namely a knife, that in its manner of use and intended use was capable of causing death and serious bodily injury against the peace and dignity of the state, signed the foreman of the grand jury.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, to that, how do you plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may be seated. State, do you have any opening statements?
We do, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed.
October 3rd, 2021. Juliet Rodriguez took her young son Jameson over to a birthday barbecue. Her sister had invited her because her sister's boyfriend, Isaac Aguilar, and his sister Annabelle had planned a birthday party for the defendant. She thought she was gonna go over and have a good time, have a couple of drinks, enjoy some barbecue, good socialization, and let the kids play together. She wasn't there for very long. She was sitting in the backyard along with Isaac and the defendant. And they started to argue because Isaac had been disrespectful toward one of his sister's daughters. He called her a bitch. Still young, 9 or 10 years old at the time of that. And Isaac thought that to be inappropriate. So they began to have a disagreement. Not an argument, no yelling. According to Juliet,
Voices weren't raised. It was more of a scream. When all of a sudden Angel gets up and he walks toward Isaac. And she is not really sure how it started, but they began to tussle. And before she knows it, there is blood everywhere. The defendant's own brother, Isaac, stands up and says, "He stabbed me." He's bleeding from 2 places in his chest. He collapses on the slide, and his own brother runs away. He leaves. Juliet runs after him because it is her instinct that she needs to get the license plate number. He jumps in the car with his friends and he takes off and leaves his brother bleeding there. He's collapsed on the playground of the children on a green slide. 911 is called, and ultimately Isaac ends up losing his life at his brother's hand. And at the conclusion of this trial, we expect you'll find him guilty of murder.
All right, defense, any opening statements?
Will reserve, Your Honor.
All right, state, call your first witness.
State calls Juliet Rodriguez.
All right, if you raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear and affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, if you'll take a seat there. And if you could make sure that you keep your voice up so that the members of the jury and the court reporter can hear, if you'll state your name for the record.
Juliet Rodriguez.
State.
Juliet, do you mind spelling your first name for us?
Yes, it's Juliette.
Do you know why you're here today?
Yes,
Why is that?
because I witnessed Isaac dying. I witnessed his murder from Angel.
Who is Isaac Aguilar to you?
He's my brother.
And is he actually your brother-in-law?
He was with my sister for a while. They're not legally married.
They were not legally. How long did you know Isaac before he died?
I've known him since I was around 14, 15. I'm 27 now.
And how old were you on October 3rd of 2021? It's about 25, sound right?
25, yeah.
Now, there's one rule I want to let you know about that we didn't get to talk about before. It's that we only get to talk one at a time, okay? So we don't talk over each other. And I'll wait until you finish answering before I talk, and you wait till I ask a question before you talk, okay?
Okay.
All right. So I mentioned October 3rd of 2021. What happened on that day?
I was invited to Angel's birthday barbecue.
Who invited you there?
Isaac.
Isaac invited you. And what did he invite you for?
They were just gonna have barbecue and just celebrate his birthday.
You remember the address you went to?
I believe it was 1717 Leal.
Is that here in San Antonio?
Yes.
Whose house was that?
Annabelle, it's Isaac and Angel's sister.
How long have you known Annabelle?
Not too long. I probably met her that year.
Had you gone over to Annabelle's before?
Yes, we went over for Isaac's birthday in August of that year.
So you'd been to her house at least one other time.
Correct.
And on this day, did you go to the house by yourself or did you take anybody with you?
I had my son Jameson with me.
How old was Jameson at the time?
At that time he was around 5.
Were there any other children there?
Yes, Annabelle's 2 kids were there as well.
Do you know their names?
I know the oldest is Scarlett. I'm not too sure of the youngest.
How old is Scarlett?
I'm not too sure. Maybe she was around 9 at the time, maybe.
And the younger sibling, is that a boy or a girl?
It's a girl. She was at the time, she was younger. I'm not too sure.
Okay. So what's going on when you get to the party?
Well, I had just parked and then we all were outside just listening to music. They had Isaac had my sister's car door open. We're just listening to music, kind of just all talking, mingling.
About what time did you get there? Do you remember?
I don't remember the exact time, to be honest.
So so how long were you at the party before something happened?
Maybe a little over an hour.
And during that time, was everybody just socializing?
Yeah, we're just socializing.
Did everybody seem to be getting along?
Yes.
Okay, and I keep saying everybody. Who exactly was at this gathering?
At the gathering, it was at the time when we were outside, Annabelle was inside. I believe she was probably making like the rice or something. Moses, Annabelle's husband, was there, and me, my son, and my sister, Angel, and then his two friends came along. One was a female, one was a male.
And you don't recall their names, do you?
No, it was my first time meeting them.
And can you tell the jury what your sister's name was?
My sister's name is Christine Rodriguez.
How long had her and Isaac been together?
I know they were together when they were younger and then they had got together, so probably within that time, like 3 years.
What do you-
She's known him prior to that.
So you said you had known Isaac for about 15 years, was that right?
Yes.
Okay. How did you meet him?
Him and my sister at the time were dating.
Okay, so they dated when they were
younger.
teenagers.
Yeah.
Right. Let's remember, we can't talk at the same time because the lady sitting right in front of you is writing down everything we say and you can't type words over each other. So we'll try to keep that in mind, okay? All right. So at this time, on October 3rd of 2021, your sister, Christine, and Isaac were back together.
Yeah.
How was that relationship going?
It was fun.
Do your sister and Isaac, did they have any children together at that time?
She was pregnant at that time.
How pregnant was she?
I believe she was around 6 months.
During your time at the party, was there a disagreement that happened between Isaac and Angel?
Yes.
And you said you'd been there about an hour before something happened?
Yeah, like a little over an hour apart.
Where did the disagreement occur? What was everybody doing when that started?
We were outside Annabelle's, but at her house, it's not like a backyard, it's just like a side, her yard's on the side of the house.
Okay. Were you sitting? Were you standing?
We were all sitting down.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Juliet, I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 1. Do you recognize what that's a photo of?
Yes.
Okay, what is that a photo of?
Annabelle's yard.
Okay, does it look like it's been edited or in any way?
No.
And is it a fair and accurate depiction of what her backyard looked like on that day?
Yeah.
At this time, state moves to admit State's Exhibit 1.
No objections, Judge.
All right, State's Exhibit number 1 is admitted without objection.
Okay, Juliet, let's talk about this photo a little bit. So you mentioned you were all sitting down, is that right?
Yes,
Where were you sitting?
closer to where the slide was on this area.
Right, these red chairs here?
Yes.
Okay. That's where you were sitting.
Yes.
Where was Isaac sitting?
He was more on, I guess, on this side. I'm sorry.
This way?
Yes.
Okay. What about Angel?
He was across from him
Over here?
on the other side, the other chair, the darker chair.
Okay. Do you know why disagreement occurred between them?
Just briefly, I just heard the conversation briefly.
What did you hear Angel say?
Objection, hearsay, Judge.
Objection to hearsay?
I'm sorry, Judge.
He objected to hearsay to what Isaac said.
Angel.
Could you re-ask the question? I'm sorry.
Yes, I may have said Isaac by mistake.
Okay, thank you.
What did you hear Angel say?
He called, the disagreement started because he called their niece a bitch.
How did Isaac react to Angel calling her niece a bitch?
He just told him, don't call my niece a bitch.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Sustained.
Do you know which niece Angel was referring to?
It was the oldest, Scarlett.
Do you know why he said that?
Objection,
No.
speculation.
Sustained.
Was Scarlett in the backyard at the time that he said that?
She was outside.
She was outside. What was she doing at the time that statement was made?
I don't remember.
After Isaac reacted to what Angel said, what happened?
Angel started telling him that he was gonna come after him and go to his house and break down the door.
Were they yelling at each other?
No, it was a regular conversation. There was no yelling. That's why when the disagreement happened, it was just, they were just having a conversation. There was no yelling.
No voices raised?
No.
Did, after Angel made that threat did you say go break in Isaac's door? Is that right?
Yes, he said he was gonna come after him and break down the door.
What did Angel do next?
At the time he stood up.
So he stood up from his chair when he was sitting here?
Yes.
Okay. What happened after that?
Everything after that happened pretty fast.
Pretty fast. Did you ever hear any threats toward Angel from Isaac?
No.
Did you ever hear any further threats from Angel to Isaac?
Not after that, sir.
Did you ever see Isaac punch Angel?
No.
Did you ever see Angel punch Isaac?
I didn't see any punching. It was more of them wrestling at the time.
When Angel stood up from his chair, was he doing anything with his hands?
He had his hands in his pocket.
Did you see his hand come out of his pocket?
After that, everything happened fast.
When you say fast, how fast do you mean?
By the time I knew it, they were on for wrestling.
What do you mean by wrestling?
Just like tussling, like they weren't. At that time I didn't see any full punches thrown. By the time I feel like I blinked, I just saw a pile of blood
Where were the children at that time?
outside.
All of the children?
My son was outside, the youngest, Annabelle's husband, Moses, was holding the little girl. I remember Moses telling Scarlett to call Annabelle outside.
Let's go back to when you see them tussling on the ground, wrestling on the ground. Do you remember if one of them was on top of the other, or can you describe that a little bit more if you remember?
I don't remember.
What about the blood that you said you saw? Did you know where the blood was coming from at that time?
No, because it was just all over the floor, but after that it separated, and then I saw it on Isaac, all his clothes coming out. He had a Cowboys jersey, so the whole jersey was full of blood.
Did he say anything?
Yeah, when he had got up, at that time, he had said, call 911, he stabbed me, and then that slide was, he collapsed on that slide.
You're talking about this green slide here.
Correct.
What did you do after he said that?
I called 911 and, I saw Isaac gasping for air. At that time, I saw his lips kind of turn like grayish, bluish.
Did that concern you?
Yes, and I was calling 911 at the time. Annabelle and I guess at the time, it was me and Annabelle Moses were with Isaac, kind of holding pressure to his stomach because that's where he was holding.
And he's still laying here on the slide?
Yes.
Where was Angel?
During the 911 call, how her yard is on the side, I was running out the gate because he was trying to take off, in the parked car that their friends came in. So I was on the 911 call saying the license plate number.
Did he say anything to you as you followed him that way?
Yes, he was coming towards me trying to attack me.
What do you mean by trying to attack you?
It looked like he was gonna hit me and he was telling me, why was I gonna call the cops on him and why was I gonna snitch on him? But he was yelling at me.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. If you could slow down a little bit.
Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah, he had said that, why was I gonna call the cops on him and why was I gonna snitch on him? At the time he was coming at me, so I threw some liquid at him for him to go back. And then they took off in that car that was there. I don't know whose the car was, but they took off.
When you say they, who are you talking about?
Him and his female friend and the male friend.
What did you do after they took off?
I ran back to where the yard was. By the time, the ambulance got there pretty fast.
And when the ambulance gets there, does EMS load up Isaac and take him?
Yes, at that point, I went back with my sister and Jameson, so I didn't see them put him in the bed or anything.
Okay. And, did you go to the hospital?
We had to stay in custody. We did go to the hospital, but not till hours later.
And when you arrived at the hospital, was Isaac already deceased?
Yes.
After Isaac, stands up and says, call 911, I was stabbed. Did you see what weapon he was stabbed with?
I didn't see it up close, but I just saw something fall like towards the dirt. I guess there was like a lot of leaves there. But at the time I just called, I didn't physically like go and look at it or anything.
Okay. And a lot of leaves there. Are you referring to what the backyard looks like in this photo?
Yes.
And do you recall where you saw the, you said silver item? Do you recall where that fell to the ground?
I didn't see what color it was. I just saw the item fall.
Okay.
But it was around like this area because he didn't walk too far from the slide.
This area?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Ask the witness from.
Defense?
Hi, Ms. Rodriguez. My name is Rolando Reyes. I have a couple of follow-up questions for you. If at any point you don't understand any of my questions, just let me know and I'll gladly rephrase, okay? So let's just go back in time a little bit just to kind of understand. You mentioned that you have known Isaac for 12 years, correct?
Yes, around there, yes.
So, and you were about 14, 15.
Correct.
And he was dating your sister at that time?
Yes.
How old were they?
Me and my sister a year and a half apart.
So they were 16, 17?
Correct.
Okay. And how long were they dating?
I mean, that was a long time ago. I'm not too sure. A couple of years, maybe 2-3 years.
Okay. And then they broke up.
Yes.
And to your knowledge, did he start dating anybody else?
I'm sorry?
Did he start dating anybody else?
Yes, I believe he had another relationship.
Do you know with who?
I'm not, I mean, I don't know if there was multiple people, but I know there was somebody he was serious with for a bit.
Okay. And at that time, when did he come back into your life, or was he always present? Just to kind of understand the dynamic.
I mean, sometimes I'll have conversations with him, like, how are you doing, like on Facebook, but I didn't see him in person or anything around the time.
So if you remember, when did he come back into your sister Christine's life?
I'm not too sure. I don't have that year. I don't remember.
2 years, 3 years, 4 years?
Maybe like 2019. I'm not too sure.
I'm sorry, just to clarify.
Maybe 2019.
19, okay, thank you. So fast forward to October 3rd, you said you got invited by your sister, correct? To come to to Angel's birthday party?
I got invited by Isaac.
By Isaac, okay. And you said, if you remember, I know it's really difficult and it was a long time ago. Do you remember roughly at what time you got there?
I don't remember the time.
Was it midday, evening? Was it dark out? Was there light out?
No, it was midday.
It was midday. Okay. So you get there and you describe that everybody was there, correct?
The people that came after me were Angel's friends, the female and male, they came after me, but pretty much the rest of the people were already there.
Okay, got it. So you get there and you mentioned that, may I put? Just to kind of clarify the scene for you. So you were sitting in this chair? This one?
Yes.
Okay. And then you mentioned that Isaac was sitting in this one, right?
No, he was more by the slide.
More by the side, so it would be this one.
Yes.
So he was facing you.
He was across from Angel. I don't know if the chair was moved at that time.
Okay, that's fair. And then Angel was sitting in this one, correct?
Correct.
Do you recall who was sitting in this one
I don't remember.
or in this one?
I don't remember.
Okay. And I'm guessing that your chair was also not facing out, right? It was probably facing towards the people in the conversation, right? Sorry. So you mentioned that there was a disagreement, correct?
Sure.
And you don't know what the disagreement was about.
The disagreement started with Angel calling the niece.
And to your words, there was no yelling. It was a regular conversation, kind of like what you and I are having right now, right?
Yeah, just disagreement. Correct.
And at no point was there any slapping that you saw?
At the disagreement, no.
No punching that you saw either?
Not at that moment when they were disagreeing.
Okay, so at some point, do you recall how long the disagreement lasted? A couple of minutes, seconds?
I really don't remember.
You don't remember?
I don't remember how long that argument was.
So at some point, you're sitting right there, and the next thing you know, they're just going at each other.
Correct.
You have no idea how that happened. You did not. You were sitting right there, right?
So the disagreement started about them, Angel calling the niece a bitch, and I told him not to call the niece a bitch, and then Angel told him that he was gonna comfort him and go break down the door. Angel stood up during that time, and then at that point, by the time I knew it, they were wrestling on the floor, and then there was blood.
And would you agree with me that Isaac is larger? He's a big guy.
I mean, I feel like they're the same height. I mean, he's chubbier, probably.
He's bigger.
He's bigger, like height
All
or.
right, just one second. I'm so sorry. If y'all can make sure that you remember one person at a time, because otherwise the court reporter is going to have a difficult time taking it down.
Yes, sir.
So I'll re-ask my question. He's heavier, bigger than Angel,
Heavier, yes.
but they're about the same height.
I believe so.
So you're sitting there, and at no moment you see one throw a punch at each other. You just see both of them on the floor.
Correct.
And it is your recollection that you did not see a weapon on that day.
I mean, I saw it fall, but I didn't see, they were wrestling, but I didn't see it, like, I didn't see the weapon until after.
So you said you saw something fall, but is it fair to say that you do not know who had the knife on them? Right?
I mean, I don't know who I don't know.
So you have no idea whether Isaac had the knife or whether Angel had the knife?
I don't know, but I mean, Angel was the one telling me, don't snitch on him, and he knew
I'm
that.
gonna object your honor to hearsay at that point.
All right, that objection will be sustained.
My question is, you don't know who brought out the knife, correct?
I don't know about that.
How long were they tussling for?
I don't remember.
And this whole time, did you stand up? Were you just sitting there watching this happen, or what were you doing?
I called him, well, after Isaac stood up, I called him.
Okay, during the fight, you just testified that you were sitting in the red chair right there.
I stood up, but I didn't get involved.
Correct. Did you move back? Did you look away? What did you do?
I stepped back.
You stepped back and you saw them tussle on the ground. Okay. I don't know if I just asked you this, but how long were they tussling for?
I don't remember.
And you mentioned that you called 911, correct? And you said that in your 911 call, you told them that he was looking grayish and bluish from the lips?
No, I didn't tell him that, not that I recall. I saw his lips turn green.
Oh, so, but you never told this to the police?
I told the cops that, my brother-in-law was stabbed at the moment, and, I really don't remember exactly what I said, but I told him that he was stabbed and
I need you to slow down, please, just.
okay, that he, wasn't talking anymore after that.
And just to clarify, because police can mean a lot of things. When you're talking about police, are you talking 911? Or are we talking about when the officer showed up on scene?
I'm talking about the 911 call.
Okay, so you're saying that on the 911 call, you said that you saw his lips turn grayish and bluish?
On the 911 call, I don't exactly remember everything I said. I just said that my brother-in-law was stabbed. And at the time, he wasn't speaking anymore.
Would it surprise you to know that in the 911 call, you never mentioned that?
I probably would. I was in complete shock what happened.
And would it surprise you as well that officers never notated that you also said that to them? In the interviews that you gave, that you never mentioned that he was turning bluish and grayish?
I only talked to one person after.
Would it surprise you that that was never mentioned from you?
No, I mean, I don't know. I only spoke to somebody after that day, right after when they took Isaac, they took us into custody. And they didn't ask us a lot of questions. And then after that, they rushed us to the hospital to see Isaac because he already passed.
Also, you mentioned that you told him that he was trying to attack you, correct?
Yes.
And by him, just to clarify, we're saying that Angel said that he was going to attack you.
Yes.
Would it surprise you as well that you never said that to any of the officers? This is the first time that you're mentioning that today.
No, I did say that.
Well, would it surprise you that that's not notated in any of the reports?
Yeah.
Do you remember roughly at what time you called 911?
I don't remember a time.
Do you remember there was daylight or was it night?
I believe it was still daylight.
So is it your recollection that the altercation or the tuffle happened during daylight?
Yes.
Okay. Nothing further, past the witness.
State?
Just briefly, Judge. Juliet, do you remember telling a detective Rolo that Angel had come at you?
Yes.
And you told Detective Rolo the details of that?
Yes.
Nothing further, Judge.
Any further questions?
One quick second, Judge. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, is this witness excused or subject for recall?
Subject to recall from the state, Your Honor.
Same from the defense, Your Honor.
All right. You can step down. Just make sure you're available if either the state or the defense wishes to recall you. All right. State, call your next witness.
State calls Christine Rodriguez.
All right, if you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can have a seat. Make sure you keep your voice up for members of the jury and also for the court reporter. If you could state your name for the record.
Christine Rodriguez.
Right, state.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, yeah,
sorry.
people do that. That's okay.
So Christine, go ahead and get comfortable and want to make sure the microphone's adjusted so you can speak into it, okay? Sorry, as I die and we have some water. All right, Christine. How are you doing today? Do you know why we're here?
Yes.
Why are we here?
Because Angel murdered Isaac.
How do you know? Did you know Isaac Aguilar?
I met him in like 2012.
How old were you in 2012?
16.
How did you guys meet?
We just knew the same people, and then we started talking, like seeing him in passing and stuff, like after school, stuff like that.
At some point, did you guys start dating?
Yes.
And when you guys started dating as teenagers, how long were you together for?
On and off. Maybe like, I don't know, 4 years on and off.
During that time that you guys were dating, did you meet any members of his family?
His sister and brother.
What's his sister's name?
Annabelle.
What's his brother's name?
Angel.
Do you see Angel in the courtroom right
Yes.
now? Can you please point him out and identify an article of clothing he's wearing?
Gray shirt.
Let the record reflect the witnesses identified the defendant. Did you meet him when you were teenagers?
Angel?
Angel, yeah.
I met him at school.
Okay, did you guys go to school together then?
For a little bit, yeah.
At some point, did you and Isaac break up?
Yes.
When did you guys get back together?
We just got back together 2019.
So right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And what was kind of going forward to October 3rd, 2021? Were you guys still together?
Yes.
What was the status of your relationship at that time?
Living together, I was pregnant.
How far along were you?
About 6 months.
A boy or a girl?
It's a girl.
And you and Isaac, you said, were living together, correct?
Yes.
On October 3rd, what was going on that day?
I think there was a football game. We were at my older sister's house watching it, and then it was Angel's birthday, so Isaac wanted to go hang out at Annabelle's house for his birthday.
And did you guys go over to Annabelle's house for Angel's birthday?
Yes.
Who all was there when you got there?
It was when we got there. It was Moses, Annabelle, Angel.
And you said Annabelle's his sister. Who's Moses?
Her husband.
And were Annabelle and Moses kids there?
Yes.
What are their kids' names?
Scarlett and Zara.
Scarlett and what?
Zara.
Zara. How old were Scarlett and Zara at the time?
I think Zara was 2. Scarlett was 7. I'm not sure on her.
They're young ones. Do you recall about what time you and Isaac got over to Annabelle's house?
Probably 6.
Was it still daylight?
Yes.
Because it's October, right? When you got there, what was the vibe? Like, was everybody having a good time? Or was there anything weird going on?
Everything seems normal from what I remember. We got there, Isaac immediately left because Annabelle, actually, you know what? Annabelle wasn't there. She was getting her nails done. So we got there and Isaac went to go pick Annabelle up from her nail appointment. So when we got there, it was just me, Angel, and Moses.
And everything was normal between you three. Did anyone else arrive to the party?
Yes.
Who else came?
My sister and my nephew.
So Juliet and Jameson, correct? Do you recall how long after you got there that Juliet and Jameson got there?
Maybe 20 minutes.
So once the party started going on, were you guys all in the same area or were people kind of spread out? What was the setup for this?
Believe we were all kind of there at they had like a bench. So we were all kind of just out there. And then I know my nephew was with Angel and Isaac and we were all, yeah, because there's like a playground and yeah, we were pretty much all in the same area.
Were you outside when Angel and Isaac began arguing?
Yes.
Where were you, if you recall?
By the playground, which is right next to where they were by the bench, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm going to show you what's been marked and admitted as States Exhibit 1. Is this the playground you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see where you were in this photo, or was it a part of the photo that's not, or part of the picture that's not captured?
I think I was like on the opposite side, looking towards so I don't think I was, no, I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, but you were outside.
I was outside. Yeah.
Would you be more kind of towards this side?
I think more like by the slide on this side.
More by the slide? Okay. So kind of not where the photo shows, but you were kind of still in that area, correct? And then where were Isaac and Angel? Just the general area, if you recall.
Like right on the part where the chairs.
Like kind of right in there?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you recall where Juliet was? Was she near them?
She was closer to them, yeah.
And were the kids outside at that point?
Yes, and it's not Scarlett.
But Jameson and Zara? Is that a yes?
Yes, sorry.
No, it's okay. We just got to remember that Diana's taking down everything we say. Okay. At some point, did you hear a disagreement or an argument between Angel and Isaac?
Yes.
What was the disagreement about? What did you hear?
I don't know what it was about. I just heard Isaac telling him, don't say stuff like that. Like there's the kids are here. And then once I saw that, that's just got my nephew.
When Isaac was saying that, did he sound upset? What was his tone of voice?
They weren't yelling. They were kind of just talking. At that, it was never a yelling. So he was just normal tone, but you can tell he seemed like concerned a little bit with whatever Angel was saying. I don't know what he was saying.
What happened after that?
I just remember Angel saying, he's like, I'll leave, whatever, but he's like, I'm gonna come for you. I'm gonna keep coming for you. He brought up like where we lived, and then the next thing I knew they were on the floor.
When you say on the floor, what were they doing?
Look like wrestling in a way.
So it's just something you didn't see any punches thrown. It's just more the next thing you know, they're on the ground.
Yes.
Could you tell who was on top, or were they kind of rolling around?
Rolling around. I remember.
Did you see any punches thrown?
No.
Did you see anything in either of their hands before they started tussling or wrestling?
No.
What happened, or how long were they wrestling around?
Not long. 30 seconds. It was very fast.
Okay, so very fast. And before that, how long had they been kind of bickering or arguing?
Not long.
Did
It
also
wasn't
be
an argument that I was aware of.
So what happened after they started wrestling on the ground? What's the next thing that happened?
I just remember Isaac standing up and he said, call 911 because he stabbed me. And then he kind of like fainted. He fell back on the slide.
And the person that he was, wrestling with, that's the same angel that you identified in the courtroom today.
Yes.
You said that he got up so that he sat and that he collapsed, correct?
Yes.
What could you see on Isaac?
I could see blood, and he was just holding himself,
Where was he holding himself?
like by his stomach, like his whole part. He was
Like his
like,
upper stomach
yeah.
area? What did you do?
I don't remember. I was in panic. I think I just stood there. I just was in shock.
What did Angel do?
Left. He tried leaving. He left.
Did anyone else leave with him?
He was with two people, yeah.
Did you know those two people he was with?
No,
Had you ever met them before?
no,
Do you remember their names or anything about them?
no.
What did anyone else do to kind of help
Um,
Isaac at that point that you witnessed?
At that point, I guess Scarlett came outside, and then she went back inside to call Annabelle. And then I just remember Annabelle and my sister calling the cops. And then we all, after Angel left, and we all just went to Isaac and we're just trying to tell him like, don't leave us, like you're gonna be okay.
Was he able to talk after he collapsed onto the slide?
He was saying he couldn't breathe.
How long did it take you EMS to get there?
I can't remember.
Were you able to go with him to the hospital?
No,
How long? Why weren't you able to go with him to the hospital?
because I was a witness.
So you had to stay and talk to police. Were you able to ever see Isaac again after that?
Yes.
Had he already passed or was he still alive?
I'm very fascinated.
May I approach him?
Yes.
So I'm going to show you two pictures that have been marked as State's Exhibit 2 and State's Exhibit 3. Okay, I'll show you this first one, State's Exhibit 2. Do you recognize who's in this photo?
Yes,
And who is in this photo?
Isaac.
Okay, and is this a fair and accurate representation of what he looked like back then?
Yes.
I'll show you another picture, marked as State's Exhibit number 3. Do you recognize the person in this photo?
Yes,
And who is in this photo?
Isaac.
This time, State's going to offer only State's Exhibit number 2 into evidence.
No objection.
State's Exhibit number 2 is admitted without objection.
Permission to publish.
Granted.
This is, as you said, that's Isaac, correct?
Yes.
And just to go back real fast, you said this was at Annabelle's house, correct?
Yes.
Do you know her address?
No, I can't remember.
Is it here in San Antonio?
Yes.
I'm gonna pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning. So and I want to make sure that, are you Christine or Christina?
Christine.
Christine. Okay, Christine, my name is Kathy Compton. And if you don't understand any questions I asked, or you need me to repeat something, just let me know, okay?
Okay.
So you said that you met Isaac in 2012. You were both in school?
No, he wasn't in school. He had already graduated.
In 2012, he had already graduated?
No, I don't. He didn't he graduated before. I don't know what year. I can't remember.
Okay, do you know, so you didn't meet him at school then?
We met like after school, everybody would like go to like a place to eat after called the Galleria. And that's where I would see him in passing and stuff.
And what school were you going to?
Lanier.
Had he gone to Lanier?
Yes.
Did you know him when he was at Lanier?
No.
And how many years difference between the two of you?
2.5 or 3.
So when you met him, what grade in school were you in?
I think I was a sophomore.
And then as between Isaac and Angel, who's the older of the two?
I think
And how much older than Angel was Isaac?
I think just a year.
Are you guessing or do you know?
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure.
Okay.
I can't remember the years.
And here's another important thing that I will ask you, and I'll ask you if you'll agree to do this. Don't guess. If you know, great. If you don't know, that's perfectly okay too, but please
Okay.
don't guess.
Okay.
Thank you. And so you said you met when you were a sophomore. He was already out of school. You don't know if he graduated or not, but he wasn't in school at that time.
He had already graduated.
Okay. And how did you know that he had graduated?
He told me.
That he was still hanging out at an after where high school kids hung out after school at that point?
I would see him get food. He wasn't hanging around really, but he was always with older people. So.
And this was like at a, you said it
It was
like
like
at a
a
restaurant
little-
or a basketball court, or where was it at?
It was behind the school. It's just a place to eat. It's like a really small restaurant, I guess.
Like is it an actual restaurant in a building, or like a taqueria, or like a food truck, or what?
I would say just like a snack place, because you would go in and there was food and there was like some benches outside, so you couldn't like eat inside or anything. You would just get the food and then leave or sit outside.
So like a snack stand.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said everybody would sit outside. So where would you sit outside?
There was just like a couple of benches outside.
So it's like a hangout spot. And you said that you were together with him, with Isaac, for about 4 years on and off. Were you together did you graduate high school?
Yes.
Were you together when you graduated?
No, at that point we were still friends.
I'm sorry?
We were just friends at that time.
Okay. So met when you're a sophomore, friends all the way through your senior year of school?
Yes.
And then when did that relationship change to be a dating relationship?
2014.
So right after you
A
graduated?
year after I graduated.
And how often did you see Isaac, socialize with him during that period of time that you were just friends?
Not often. We would just talk on the phone a lot and text.
Would you say that you talked to him or socialized with him more than your other male friends?
Yes.
Okay, so would you agree that you were having more than just a friendship with him, or a higher level of friendship than with other friends
I'm
during
gonna
that?
object to relevance at this point, Your Honor.
Defense?
Judge, would you prefer that we approach, or?
Yes, approach.
Okay. So during the period of time that you're talking about that you were just friends, how well would you say that you knew Isaac? Would you say that you knew him very well? Kind of, not really at all? How well do you think that you knew him?
I think I knew him very well.
Okay. And how often did you see him interacting with Angel?
In that time.
And to make it clear, I'm just talking about the period when you were just friends, but not.
I need one at a time, one at a time.
So to make it clear, I'm talking about just in that period of before you were, I guess, officially dating.
Never.
You never saw him interact with his brother?
No.
Okay. Did he ever talk about his brother to you?
Yes.
Okay. And after you began a dating relationship, how long did that dating relationship last until you broke up?
3 years. Well, I don't want to guess, like you said, so I would say 3 to 4 years.
So you said that you met him in 2012.
Yes.
You were friends for a couple of years, so until 2014?
Yes.
And then you began dating in 2014?
Yes.
And then you dated for until what year?
I would say until the middle of 2017.
And you broke up?
Yes.
And why did you break up?
I can't remember.
Well, you would agree with me, that's a pretty significantly long relationship,
Yes.
but you have no memory of why you broke it off?
I can't remember like the main reason why we broke up.
You don't remember the main reason or any reason?
Any reason, it was just we were growing apart already.
And during the period of time from when you had broken up with him, and then you say you got back together in 2019?
Yes.
Did you have any contact with him between that breakup, 2017 to 2019?
Yes.
How often?
Like maybe not often.
What does that mean to you?
I would probably hear from him every 3 months.
And that would be phone calls, Facebook?
Facebook.
Were you aware or not with regard to any other relationships that Isaac had during this time?
When we were broken up?
Correct.
Yes, he was in a relationship.
And did you know who he was in a relationship with?
Yes.
And who was he in a relationship with?
Amber.
And do you know anybody else that he was in a relationship with?
At that time, no.
Okay. Well, at any time during the time that you were broken up, were you aware that he was in any relationship?
No, just that one.
Okay. And were you aware or not as to whether Isaac had any other children?
Yes.
And what other children did Isaac have?
He had a son.
And what was that son's name?
Elijah.
And who did he have this son with?
Her name is Gabriella.
And, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Gabriella.
And did you know Gabriella's last name?
No.
Did you know her at all?
No.
Object to relevance at this point, Your Honor.
All right, that'll be overruled.
And did you know anything about well, let me ask this. Was his relationship with Gabriella, to your knowledge, before your relationship with him or during this breakup period?
Before,
Before?
yes,
And do you know how long before?
no,
Did you ever talk with Isaac about his relationship with her?
Object to relevance.
That'll be overruled. You can answer yes or no.
no,
Now, at the time that this occurred, how long had you and Isaac been together?
2 years,
And the child, the daughter that you have now, is this the only child that you both have together?
yes,
Okay. And so you said you were living together
yes,
and you said that at some point, do you remember what day of the week this occurred?
no,
Do you remember the address that it occurred at?
no,
So did you know whose house you were at?
yes,
And had you been to that house previously?
yes.
How often did you go to Annabelle's house?
Maybe like once every other weekend.
That you don't know the address?
I don't.
Right. Do you remember the address where you were living?
Yes.
So at what time, if you remember, did you and Isaac discuss that you were going to Annabelle's house?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
At what time on the day that all of this occurred, at what time, if you recall, did you and Isaac decide or talk about going to Annabelle's?
It was like a planned a week before.
And who made those plans?
Isaac.
So you were the one who made a plan. With who?
I'm not understanding your question.
I think I'm probably not. Oh, you said Isaac planned it. I'm sorry. I thought you
From what I
were.
remember, he planned it.
Okay, I thought you said I did. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Old ears. My apologies. So you said Isaac planned it the
Yes.
week before.
Yes.
And when you say he planned it, what do you recall him doing?
I just remember him from what he told me that he wanted to have a barbecue for Angel.
And so did you assist in making those plans? Did you talk to anybody or was it all him?
It was just him, and then he reached out to Moses, and Moses barbecued.
And Moses lived at the same house?
Yes,
And so it's at the house that we're talking about, it's Annabelle, who is the sister of Angel and Isaac,
yes,
because there were 3 kids, right?
yes,
And then Moses is the husband of Annabelle, correct?
yes.
Okay. And have you had barbecues over there in the past?
Yes,
And had Isaac and Angel both been there together in the past?
yes.
And how many times approximately had there been these types of gatherings where all of the siblings were there together at Annabelle's house?
Just once.
Once other than this?
Yes.
And
That
when-
Angel was there, yeah.
And when was that?
Isaac's birthday in August.
So August, before this happened, and then this event.
Yes.
Okay. Judge, can I have the court's permission to use the
Yes.
well of the courtroom? Thank you. So
All right, and do you need the witness to step down?
Not at this point, Judge. So Christine, when you said that you pointed out that you were back over kind of in this, off over in this area, kind of off of the photo.
No, I said I was more like, I don't know if you can see, to the right of the slide.
Okay, so over here, if we had an arrow pointing that way, that's kind of where you were.
Yes.
So if, let's just say, if we're looking at the picture and where you're sitting, say like this is the blue slide in the picture, how far away from the blue slide were you?
Oh, I was close to the slide. I was
So
just on the
like
right
as
of the
close
slide.
as I am to you right now?
Yes,
So close enough to touch the slide?
yes.
And were you out there with the kids or were you just hanging
Um,
out?
I was with my nephew. Oh, yeah, the kids, they were playing on the playground.
Okay, when you say the playground, I see the slide in the photo. What was there, was it a play set with a slide?
There's like a swing. There was a swing next to it.
So like a swing set with a slide?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember if any of the kids were on the swing set?
No, can't remember.
And do you remember what you were doing? It was a barbecue. Were you drinking?
No.
I know that's probably a silly question because you were pregnant, obviously, but was anybody else drinking there?
Not yet, no.
Okay, so nobody had been drinking when this occurred.
There was drinks and I think we had, or they had just, my sister had just opened hers, but she couldn't really drink because she was trying to watch my nephew, who was all over me, so.
So you and your sister, neither one of you were drinking.
She probably took some, oh, I don't wanna guess, but, I would say no.
Okay. There's, if there were other photos that made it pretty obvious that there was drinking at this party, opened cans, things like that, would you have a reason to disagree that people were drinking?
Yes.
So you're saying nobody was drinking?
I did not see nobody drink, we were not there that long.
Okay, well then, so how long, when did you get there? What time of day?
I would say around 6.
6 in the evening?
Yes.
And this was in October, right?
Yes.
So you and Isaac came together?
Yes.
And when you arrived, do you remember, was the sun setting? Was it dark? What do you recall about what it looked like outside? Just to be clear too, you didn't take this photograph, right?
No.
Okay, and this photograph was, it looks like this was taken during the daytime. When you were there, did it look like this as far as the daylight?
Yes.
So you're saying it was full daylight at 6 p.m. in October?
Yes.
So you got there at 6 p.m. Did you bring anything?
No.
You didn't bring anything at all?
No.
Did Isaac bring anything?
No.
You guys didn't stop off to get beer, to get food, nothing?
No. Not that I remember, no.
But Isaac was the one that was planning the party.
Yes, but they had already had like the barbecue going, so we didn't bring anything.
So he just called Annabelle and said, hey, y'all make a barbecue for Angel, and that was it, and all he did was show up?
Yes, we just showed up.
And how far away, because sometimes pictures don't give a good idea as far as space. Again, if this is the slide, how far away is this kind of wooden platform there where the tables were? Like how far away from you would that have been? Where I'm at, where the officer's at, the wall?
Where you're at?
So
Yes.
again, from me to you.
Yes, I was not far.
So you were close enough to see who was sitting in the chairs,
Yes.
but you don't remember who was sitting where.
No.
And you were close enough to hear, according to your prior testimony, what Angel was saying, that you didn't hear a lot of what Isaac was saying.
I did hear what Isaac said.
And you were this close that you didn't see how the altercation between the two of them started at all.
No.
And you never saw if Isaac had a knife or if Angel had a knife. You never saw either one of them to know who had a knife.
I know Isaac didn't have a knife.
You know he didn't have a knife.
Yes.
Well, how do you know if you didn't see anything happen?
I was with him the whole day. I've never seen him carry a weapon.
Well, what my question is that, again, we're talking about not guessing, right? Or what you think you know. I'm asking you, you never saw on this day anyone, whether it was Angel or Isaac, you never saw anybody with a knife.
No.
Okay. When this was occurring, you said that Isaac was just talking like in a normal tone of voice, like nothing bothered him.
Yes, he didn't seem upset.
Had you ever seen him lose his temper?
No.
So he'd never lost his temper in all the time you've known him?
I've never seen him lose his temper, no.
You've never known him to lose his temper?
Not out of the ordinary, no.
What's ordinary to you?
Like nothing that was, like that stands out to me.
You're gonna have to clarify because I don't know you and nobody here knows what that means. What does that mean to you?
I've never seen him lose his temper.
Ever?
No.
So this then would have been something really out of the ordinary, right?
I'm not understanding your question.
Well, you said you've never seen Isaac lose his temper. So to see a physical altercation between him and Angel, this would have been something very out of the ordinary, according to your testimony,
That
right?
I've seen, yes.
You agree it was out of the ordinary?
Yes.
You'd never seen anything between them like this before?
No.
So you were not, your testimony is that you were not aware of any sort of problems between the two of them previously?
I know things that Isaac has told me.
Okay, so would you say that their relationship at this point, when this occurred, would you say that their relationship was good relationship, bad relationship, or just kind of average like regular brother relationship?
I don't know, I just know what Isaac would tell me. So I never
Okay, well,
saw.
what I'm not asking you what Isaac told you. I'm asking, with all the information that you had at that time, wherever it came from, what was your impression of the relationship between the brothers?
I'm not sure.
These are people that you had known now for several years, right?
Yes.
And you don't have any opinion now as to what their relationship was back then?
Back then, or are you talking about this day?
Well, I mean, this is what we're here to talk about is this day. So at that time, what would you have said their relationship was like?
I'm not sure. In this time, when I seen both of them together twice, everything seemed normal to me.
Okay. And you said that you don't recall anybody drinking at all.
Correct.
Now, you testified that you saw that when this ended, and I want to make sure as far as what angle your view was. So if you were standing by the slide, were you like, were they to the side of you, in front of you? Like, where were you? And if you, can I have permission for her to get down?
Yes, you may step down.
So let's just say that where our court reporter is, let's just say this is the slide, right? You said that you were on the other side of it, right? Okay, so when the altercation starts, were you facing toward the tables? Were you, okay, so you would be trying to,
Like this way, so I was kind of.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm going to need you to keep your voice up because the court reporter is still taking down everything that everyone is saying. Thank you.
so you said that you don't know how it started, but you saw the two brothers, that they were, I guess, wrestling each other. Okay. And is that when you turned to see, like, I mean, so you never saw how it started at all? You just saw when they were together wrestling?
Yes.
Were they standing up or were they on the ground?
On the ground.
Okay. As far away as I am from you or a little bit further, closer, where?
About where you.
Okay, so from me to here, and you could see everything that was going on, right?
Not.
You couldn't see anything that was going on? And then, so you said that you saw that it lasted how long, you said?
I'm not sure.
So you don't know. You said 30 seconds, right? Before, when you were testifying with the prosecutor?
Yes.
Okay. So that just started at the 12. We're gonna wait till it gets to the 6. Now, did it last that long?
No.
No. Probably a lot shorter time than that, right? Okay, so from what you recall, they're on the ground, and you said that you didn't remember if, were they facing this way, or could you see their faces this way? What do you remember? Don't remember. Do you remember if Isaac was on top and Angel was like this? Do you remember if anybody was on their back or on their stomach? What do you remember? Nothing. So you have no memory of seeing Isaac on top of Angel with the knife like this, do you?
No.
And if we're looking at the clock, from the time it started, we're gonna start on the 6th. You tell me how long it lasted. Now, go. About 5 seconds, right?
You may take us.
Thank you. I'll pass, but, subject to recall for the things that we discussed.
All right. State?
Yes, just a few follow-up questions. You said that you and Isaac had been living together for about 2 years, correct?
Yes,
And when you lived together, did you share a bedroom?
yes,
And in all that time, have you ever seen him getting ready to go out? Whenever you leave the house together? Like getting dressed, putting his wallet in his pocket, stuff like
Yes.
that. Okay. Did you ever see him carry a knife?
no,
How often in the 2 years that you guys had rekindled your relationship, did you see Angel?
3 times,
3 times total in the 2 years?
yes,
Did you see Annabelle more?
yes,
Would it be fair to say that he and Annabelle were closer than him and Angel?
not sure.
But you did see Annabelle more often than Angel?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
Showing you 2 photos that have been marked as State's Exhibits 4 and 5. Do you recognize what's in these photos?
Yes,
And what's in these photos?
the backyard,
Annabelle's backyard?
yes,
Okay. And is this a fair and accurate representation of what they looked like that day?
yes.
Offering State's Exhibits 4 and 5 into evidence.
No objection.
All right, states exhibits 4 and 5 are admitted without objection.
Permission to publish.
Granted.
I'm showing you it's been marked and admitted as State's Exhibit number 4. Can you go ahead and describe what's in this photo?
Like the objects I see?
Yeah, so like kind of in the middle here, what are we looking at? Is that the slide?
Yeah, the slide, the playground.
This is just another angle of the photo we were looking at earlier, right?
Yes.
Okay. And where in here were you standing? If you recall.
To the right of the slide, like a little bit.
All right, you can step down.
If we come over here and point out on this photo. Just right in here.
Yes.
All right, when you all step down, you have to remember to keep your voice up because the court reporter is still taking down everything that everyone's saying. Okay.
And then I'm going to show you what's been marked and admitted as State's Exhibit number 5. Is this a photo kind of looking into the backyard from outside the fence?
Yes.
And then right here in the center where this kind of, is that a doorway right in here?
Yes.
And then this is kind of like the driveway.
Yes.
And so you were standing over here on the other side of the slide.
Yes.
And then Isaac and Andy were over in this area, correct?
Yes.
That's the witness.
So in this photograph, so in this first photograph that State's Exhibit number, what was it for? State's Exhibit, oh my gosh, I missed it. So in this photograph, would you agree that it looks like State's Exhibit number 4 and then State's Exhibit number 5? Those look like those were taken at very different times. Would you agree? Yes. And which of these photographs look more like when taken closer in time to when all this occurred? I remember it being daylight. Okay. And I'm gonna point out here, you said that nobody was drinking. When you are not when you weren't pregnant, were you a drinker at all? Did you ever drink?
Yes.
Did you drink beer?
Yes.
And do you recognize this? There's a beer brand that I recognize here. Do you recognize it?
Yes.
Did you ever drink Dos Equis beer?
No.
Anybody you know drink Dos Equis beer?
No.
So you have no idea what looks like, at least probably a 12-pack or 24-pack that Dos Equis ended up on the ground there?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That you never, I mean, it was right by the slide,
Mhm.
but you never saw it.
No, I don't remember that.
Okay, and you don't remember any of the cans on the table either?
No.
And you said that in 2012 that you were still in school. You said you were about 16,
Yeah.
and and Isaac would have been
18, I believe. I'm not sure.
well. If I told you in 2012 he was 20 years old, would you have reason to argue with that? Do you know his date of birth?
Yes.
What was it?
August 28, 91.
Okay. And did you know anybody by the name of Anthony Bowenblust?
No.
Okay. Judge, I think we may need to approach him.
All right, if you'll approach. All right, any further questions?
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
State.
No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
All right. One or more of the parties may need you to come back, so make sure that you're available if either party recalls you. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, you may step down.
Thank you. And the judge, when we approach.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our lunch break at this time. I'm going to ask that you all be back by 1:30, and we cannot start unless all of you are here. Remember my instructions. You are not to start deliberating internally with yourself about this case. You're not to deliberate with each other about this case. You're not even to discuss anything with anyone about this case. Does everyone understand? I will let you know when it's time for you to start deliberating. You are not to watch anything about this case. If you see anything, turn it off. If anybody tries to discuss with you anything about this case, you need to step away and let them know that you're not allowed to discuss it. You are not allowed to do any research in this case. Everything that you need to know about this case is come from inside the courtroom. Does everyone understand?
Yes.
So everything you need to know about this case is to come from.
Cool.
All right, thank you. All right, everyone, please rise for the jurors.
I would tell you want to practice.
Oh, they're coming back at 1:30, but before you all leave, just give me a moment. So everyone, please be seated. So this is what I'm assuming, and if we're not on the record, this is what I'm assuming. If my assumption is incorrect, let me know. I'm assuming there's not going to be an issue as far as this is the actual 911 call. It's just an objection to potentially the content.
That's correct, Judge.
All right.
And we only have objections, I think, just to one of
Correct,
the
Your Honor.
calls.
All right. So which call is it?
I will tell you in chief. It's the call from Annabelle Perez.
All right. So, and what is, I'm going to listen to it, but if you can just give me an idea, what is going to be your objection to it?
As hearsay within hearsay, Judge, there's multiple people talking in the background and throughout the 911 call, so just hearsay within hearsay,
All right.
no exceptions to it.
So what we're going to do then, now that I know what your objection is going to be, we're going to let Diana take her lunch break. I'm going to take my lunch break, and I'm going to have you all back here at 1:20. And if there's no objection, if somebody can leave the DVD for me and something for me to listen to it on.
Do you have an
All right. She thinks we might have something, or either if you all have a laptop. Oh, thank you. Or if you all have,
to go get that of our laptops play it.
They don't make them with DVD.
can you
ports
believe that?
anymore.
That is so, all right. So we'll get the port and then I will listen to it. And then I will hear both parties' arguments. The other issue is the state filed this motion to have your client fingerprinted. Is there going to be any objection to that?
I think it's for punishment.
Yeah, correct, Judge. I don't think we'll have any issues if we get to punishment, yeah.
All right, so what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead then, since there's not going to be an objection to it, I'm going to sign it. Even though I know it's normal course that people get fingerprints, I still like to have a hearing on that if parties want to have a hearing on that.
Thank
So
you,
I'm going to
Judge.
sign that, and whenever you all have your fingerprint person here, if it comes to that, we will take it up. All right, thank you. And so the fingerprint order has been signed.
Judge?